What do you know? What do you know? Tell you what I know. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. But normally when I start, it's so early in the morning and it's dark, you can't hardly see anything anyway, so... And usually there's trucks next to me that are idling and stuff like that, so... But today, I'm getting a late start because I got a noon appointment time. So... I figured why not go ahead and knock it out today. We got a little daylight. I got to sleep in. And so yeah, we'll get to it. So one of the first things that I normally do in the morning when I get up is usually, you know, I'll go inside and I get my cup of coffee. Got to have a good cup of coffee every morning. Oh yeah, that's good coffee. But since my truck has optimized idle on it, I'll always make sure to turn my ignition off whenever I get up to go in, because if you don't, what happens for me a lot of times is I'll go in and I'll come back out and my truck will be sitting there idling while I'm inside, you know, or well, it'll start idling while I'm inside. So now whenever I get back to the truck, you know, it's been running for a little while. Well, you need your truck turned off for at least, you know, 10-20 minutes, something like that, before you decide to, you know, start checking your oil and all that. But so I'll always turn it off so that way it don't decide to start up while I'm inside. And then I'll turn my little light test. Oh, wait a minute, we gotta have the ignition at least on. Sorry. There you go. Yeah, it's going. All right, so I'll hit my light test. Gotta have your gloves. Oh, and we might as well go ahead and pop this open too, because we're gonna need something out of there. All right. Now, a lot of times I won't even hit my light test till I pop my hood. I'll usually go back and then do the light test. And reason being is I don't want my bright sitting here blinding or shining into the truck across from me, but there's nobody across from me this morning, so I'm not too worried about it right now. I always come around on this side here. Just want to check things, check your fluids, make sure everything looks good. Looking for any kind of seepage or any kind of leaks. Looking for loose brackets and stuff like that. I got a fairly new truck, so mine's pretty easy to look over. Also want to check your belts. If you got drums, you can get underneath here and you can look at your drums. If you got drum brakes, that is. I have disc brakes. They're a little bit harder to see. You kind of got to actually get underneath there to look at them. Checking your reservoirs. Another one. Like I said, looking for loose brackets, looking for any kind of seepage, oil leaks, any kind of fluid leaks. Check your power steering hoses, make sure they ain't leaking. Mine's a little dirty right now. There's a little bit of dirt underneath here. She's a workhorse though, so we're not a beauty queen. Now, I do this every day, so I already know that my oil is over full, thanks to, well, thanks to Love's. And then even before that, TA did the same thing. They put too much oil in here. So, but you still want to check it every day. You want to make sure that your levels ain't moving around on you, because if your levels are going down, that means you're burning some oil. See, that's way high, and it has a tendency to look way high whenever it's been sitting for a while too, because all the oil has drained out of the engine down into the pan now. But if you start out and your oil level comes up as you check it day by day, that's a sign you got an issue. You probably got fuel getting into your oil or something like that. So it's definitely important to check that every day. But once I look underneath the hood and everything looks good, then I start it. It's gonna be hard to hear me. But what I'm looking at is I'm watching my belts, making sure I ain't got no belts hopping or anything like that. Good. We can go ahead and close the hood around. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that. Next thing I do is I do a quick look around. I want to check all my airlines and stuff like that. Check, make sure that my kingpin's still locked. I want to knock a few tires. You can also get underneath here and look up. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but make sure that your lock jaw is actually engaged. Checking lights while we're walking around. Checking your lights. Check the lights on the back of the trailer. Now while I'm back here, what I do now, if this was loaded and I had a seal on it and my lock was on here, and say I'm fixing to leave here and I'm gonna go deliver this today, I would pull my lock off right now. That way I don't get to the receiver, you know, and then forget to take my lock off, you know, because sometimes you get in a hurry, you know, you get to, you know, there's other drivers, you know, waiting for you to move and this and that. You may get in a hurry and then you'll forget to pull your lock off, especially if it's a dropping hook. So what I do in the mornings, if I have a loaded trailer and I'm going to deliver this load, I pull my lock off right now while I'm doing my walk around. So I'm already back here, I'm checking my lights, checking my seal and all that. Go ahead and pull my lock right now if it was locked. So something else I was going to mention while I was up front is whenever I used to train, I had a guy once tell me, he asked me, he says, why am I looking underneath the hood every day if I don't even know what I'm looking at? So the way I explain it to him is, if you look at something every day, you're gonna notice whether or not you got something that's not right. You know, if you look at something every day and it looks the same every day, and then you get a hose that starts to seep or a hose that's starting to get loose or something like that, you will notice it. You don't have to know what it is to notice that, but that's the main reason behind looking every day. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a mechanic or not. So if you're looking at it every day, you'll notice when something's out of order. You'll notice if you've got oil starting to seep somewhere. You'll notice if you got a power steering hose starting to blow a little, you know, blow a little residual oil out the end of it or something like that. You'll notice if one of your hose clamps is starting to look loose, you know. So if you're looking at it every day, you'll notice things like that. Like I said, you don't have to be a mechanic to know what it is, but at least you can see it and address the issue then. So that's the reason behind looking at it every day, whether you know what you're doing or not. So same with your oil. If you check it every day, at least you know what's going on with it. Like mine's been overfull. I've been knowing this. Not much I can do about it except for run it till the next oil change. It's not necessarily hurting anything right now, but man, do y'all see all that trash? Man, oh man. That's why these truck stops don't like us in here, you know. That's also why places like Walmart stuff don't like us. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. We'll look at this over here again. But so yeah, that's why you look at it every day, you know. That way you know what's going on with your oil. You know what's going on with your motor. You know, you don't want to get down the road and then have some surprise sneak up on you. So anyway, back to what I'm doing. Oh, while you're back here also, I about walked right past it. You can also check your brakes. Here, let's come around to the other side over here too. So you can check your brakes. You can see your brakes. If you step underneath here just a little bit more, you can see the brakes. I don't know if you can in the camera, but I can see the brakes up on the front axle too. So if my tandems was slid back a little bit, I'd be able to, I don't think I got enough room to get in here right now. Yeah, I can't get in there right now. But anyway, if your tandems are slid back a little bit, you can actually look from the front side of the tandems at the front brakes. So, and all I use to knock on, I just use a hammer, nothing special. It's one that I bought in the store, and the reason why I got a hammer is I can use it for this, and I can also use it for pulling nails out of the trailer floor. So I feel like buying one of them tire knockers is about pointless. I mean, because it only has one use. So anyway, well, that will conclude today's video. Appreciate y'all watching. Like always, stay safe and keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and that thumbs up, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.